see is the traditional sting in the tail of the championship. The Rally of Great Britain is always a tough test, with the event again based entirely in Wales. The country's capital, Cardiff, is the host city, with the 17 stages in the forests between Swansea and Llandovery. Finally, making the switch from 2 wheels to 4 is MotoGP world champion Valentino Rossi, riding a Peugeot.
All the stages are very hard, but anyway, good and fun. Is difficult, is very easy to make a mistake, but I think it's fun.
Confirmation of how the championship tables stand then going into the final round. Gronholm cannot be caught and is the new world champion, but just 7 points separate second place Richard Burns and Petter Solberg in 7th. So expect a terrific scrap between those 6 men over the next 3 days. It's a similar story in the Manufacturers Series, with the top 3 places already decided and that fight for 4th set to go down to the wire. The action got underway on the Thursday evening, shortly after Richard Burns had helped switch on Cardiff's Christmas lights. A short drive then took the crews to stage 1, a head-to-head super special won by Marco Martin. Day 1 would then see 6 more stages, including another thrash around the Super Special. 85 cars left Cardiff, with the weather forecast promising showers and the occasional clear spell. Stage 2, the rally's first proper test, was a 23-kilometre affair in the Brechfa Forest to the west of Swansea. The virtual spectator overview of the stage shows the typically British forest scenery, plus the long, fast straights. Zooming out, you can also see the hairpin bends and 90-degree junctions. All in all, a classic Welsh stage. Day 1 is always run in championship order, so it was Marcus Gronholm and co-driver Timo Rautiainen who were first into the stage. The pair were, therefore, the first to discover just how slippery the Welsh mud was. Despite that moment, the pair set a blistering pace. First to try and beat the time set by the 2 Finns were Richard Burns and Robert Reid.
In long, so flat right long, but I think medium left minus in, so medium left minus long, so flat left, 80, press.
Just half a second separated the 2 Peugeots, first blood to Gronholm. Colin McRae's crashed out on his last 3 attempts at this event, and so was determined to avoid a similar fate. Reuniting with Derek Ringer, the co-driver for 2 of his 3 victories, the Scot charged off into stage 2, but his bad luck was about to strike yet again.
6 crest, into 6 left, over crest, 15k, crest, then turn 2 right plus.
Precious seconds would tick away until spectators could push the pair out of the ditch. Nearing the end of the stage, it becomes clear that a huge amount of time was lost.
And 6 right and long 3 left minus opens, into 6 right, tightens over crest, and here 4 left tightens and narrow 3 gate. What's damaged at the back?
While one Ford crew couldn't believe their poor start, others were far more fortunate. Carlos Sainz and Lewis Moyer were third fastest behind the 2 Peugeots.
Derecha buena base, tierra más, charco dentro y salida, 2. Derecha rápida de tierra ras, para la santa izquierda rápida nos cortas de tierra ras.
Marco Martin and Michael Park would then be 4th quickest, losing just 0.8 of a second to their Spanish colleagues, but dropping from 1st to 3rd place as a result of the time set by Gronholm and Burns. The 2 Subarus also suffered mixed fortunes on the stage. Petter Solberg and Phil Mills were around 5 seconds slower than the 2 Fords, the mud already starting to clear, exposing the slippery gravel underneath. Yet again, it seemed, the weather conditions were starting to favour the first few cars to the stage, the Peugeots. Tommy Mäkinen and Kai Kai Lindstrom discovered that fact the hard way.
Minun pitkä vasen. 4. Pitkä oikein nopea plus. Pitkä oikein nopea plus. Ja minun pitkä vasen nopea autio vähän. Kovasen risteys sisällä 100. Se kerroi miinus tiukka. 120.
Fastest on the stage, but still beat Sebastian Loeb's Citroën by a little over 2 seconds. The Zara's pace on asphalt isn't in question, but perhaps McRae's arrival at the French team next year will also turn it into a force to be reckoned with on gravel. Valentino Rossi's first forestry stage in the Peugeot must have come as a shock to the motorbike ace. Despite having the experienced Carlo Cassina alongside him, 3 kilometres before the end of the stage, his rally came to an end.
Destra 6,50, sinistra 6, lunga lunga, per attenzione sinistra 3, piano lì vale, lunga lunga, lì sinistra 3. Porco zio, allora, no, piano piano, piano. Vai.
The car was undamaged, but no spectators to help them meant the Italian pair were out. Let's call in the virtual spectator to compare the performances of the 2 quickest men through the stage, Gronholm and Burns. The pair are fairly evenly matched, with the Finn slightly ahead, but then he makes his slight mistake and allows his English teammate to slip ahead. By the time the pair would reach the end of the stage, however, Gronholm will have made up that time again to finish half a second ahead of Burns, with Sainz, the best of the rest, around 12 seconds down. So the rally's first leaderboard looked like this. The Peugeot 1-2 was familiar enough, followed by the 2 Fords of Martin and Sainz, Solberg 5th and Harry Rovanpera 6th. Another Ford driven by Mark Higgins led the chasing pack, while Mäkinen was 8th after those 2 spins. Stage 3 transcoiled at nearly 28 kilometres and the sun was still shining, but in the valleys there was mist hanging in the trees. Was again flying, but was again also finding just how little grip there was.
8, huomio, vasemmalle 3, vasen hidas. Oikein nopea, sumppu. 8.
Some of the pressure was about to be taken off the world champion though, when Richard Burns discovered it was his turn to lose time.
Right max 40, slight right, 100 braking, fast right minus, 20 medium right, in, to fast right,